Welcome back to my channel. We explore the value of specific coins, the top 6 most valuable wheat penny coin value in today's market in dollar. So let's get started. First up, the 1953 D Lincoln Wheat Penny. While, at first glance, it may seem like just another old penny, in extra fine condition, this particular coin holds more value than its 1-cent face might suggest. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the 1953 D wheat penny, exploring its background, how to identify it, and most importantly, how much it's worth in today's market when it's in extra fine condition. Let's start with a bit of historical context. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted from 1909 to 1958, and it remains one of the most iconic coins in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features the bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, which gave the coin its popular nickname, the Wheat Penny. These coins were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving them a reddish-brown hue when first minted. The 1953 D Wheat Penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is what the D Mint mark stands for. That year, the Denver Mint produced a massive number of pennies, over 700 million. Specifically, the official mintage figure is 700,515,000 coins. With such a high mintage, it's easy to assume that the coin wouldn't hold much value, and in many cases, circulated versions of this coin in average condition might only be worth their copper content, or just slightly more than face value. However, when we start talking about coins in better condition, like those graded extra fine or better, things start to get more interesting. So, what exactly does extra fine mean when it comes to coin grading? In the coin collecting world, grading is the process of determining a coin's condition, and it plays a major role in determining its value. Extra fine, often abbreviated as XF or EF, generally refers to a coin that has seen only light circulation and retains most of its original details. There might be some slight wear on the high points of the design, such as Lincoln's cheekbone or the tops of the wheat stalks on the reverse, but overall, the coin should still appear sharp and attractive. XF coins often have a bit of their original luster and no major nicks or scratches. Now let's talk about value. In today's coin market, the value of a 1953 D wheat penny in extra fine condition ranges between 25 cents and 50 cents. While that may not sound like a huge amount, it's still a significant increase over its face value of 1 cent. For a coin that's over 70 years old, found in change or handed down in a collection, that can be a nice little surprise. There are a few factors that can influence the value of this coin, even within the extra fine range. First is the eye appeal. Even coins within the same grade can vary in how attractive they look. A coin with a richer tone, better strike, or fewer contact marks will always be more desirable to collectors. Secondly, whether the coin has been cleaned or altered in any way can drastically reduce its value. Collectors generally prefer coins in their original uncleaned state, even if they show signs of age. Lastly, the market demand at the time of sale also plays a role. Prices can vary slightly depending on the popularity of coin collecting, current metal prices, and collector interest. It's also worth mentioning that while 1953 D pennies in extra fine condition are relatively common among collectors, coins in even higher grades, such as mint state, can bring much higher prices. For example, a 1953 D wheat penny in uncirculated condition, especially one graded MS-65 or better by a professional grading service, can sell for several dollars and, in rare cases, even over $10 or $20 depending on color and strike quality. Some collectors specifically seek out high-grade wheat pennies to complete a set from 1909 to 1958, and they are often willing to pay a premium for coins that meet their standards. That's why, even with a coin as common as the 1953 D, condition makes a big difference. If you're wondering how to determine whether your 1953 D penny is extra fine or not, there are a few things to look for. Check for light but visible wear on Lincoln's hair and jawline. The lines in the wheat stalks on the reverse should still be mostly visible, with some softness at the tops. If your coin looks flat or the details are heavily worn, it's likely in a lower grade, such as fine or very good. On the other hand, if the details are crisp and the coin has no visible wear, you might be looking at an uncirculated piece, which could be worth even more. For the average person, finding a 1953D wheat penny and change today is unlikely, but not impossible. Many of these coins are still out there, tucked away in jars, drawers, and old coin collections. If you come across one in better than average shape, it's worth taking a closer look. To sum it up, the 1953D wheat penny may not be the rarest coin out there, but in extra fine condition, it holds more value than most people would expect. Its worth in today's market generally falls between 25 and 50 cents, with the possibility of more if the coin has especially strong eye appeal. It's a great example of how everyday coins from the past can carry hidden value, especially when they've been preserved well. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about old coins, keep an eye out for the 1953D wheat penny. You might just have a small but valuable piece of history in your possession. Next up, the 1956D penny. While it may not be considered extremely rare, it's still of great interest to many collectors. In this video, we'll be focusing on the 1956D Lincoln wheat penny specifically in good condition, and exploring how much it's worth in today's market. We'll also cover what good condition means, how to identify this coin, and what factors affect its value. The 1956D wheat penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small D mint mark, located just below the date on the obverse of the coin. This particular year saw a very high production number. In fact, the Denver Mint struck more than 1.05 billion of these coins, specifically, around 1,098 201,100. That makes the 1956D one of the most heavily minted wheat pennies in the entire series. Because of the massive mintage, the 1956D wheat penny is relatively common. You may even find one in pocket change, especially if you come across older coins. But even though the coin is common, it still holds some collector value, particularly to those who are trying to build a complete set of Lincoln wheat pennies from 1909 to 1958. This is especially true for beginner collectors who are seeking affordable coins with some historical significance. Now let's talk about the condition. In the coin world, condition matters more than almost anything else when it comes to value. A coin in mint state, meaning it was never circulated and has no wear, can be worth significantly more than the same coin in worn condition. The term good in coin grading doesn't mean excellent. It refers to a specific grade on the coin grading scale. A coin in good condition is typically quite worn. For the 1956D penny, this means most of the finer details will be worn away. On the obverse, Lincoln's hair and jawline will be smoothed out. On the reverse, the wheat stalks will appear flat and merged into the surrounding surface. However, the lettering and date should still be readable. There should be no major damage, but overall, the coin will look well used. So how much is a 1956D wheat penny in good condition worth today? As of now, in the current market, this coin is generally worth between 5 and 10 cents. That's around 5 to 10 times its face value. While it may not seem like much, it's still a significant increase from 1 cent, especially for a coin that is easy to overlook. Multiply that by a handful of similar pennies found in an old collection or change jar, and the value starts to add up. Why would someone pay 5 to 10 cents for a common coin in worn condition? It often comes down to collecting goals. Many people who are putting together complete sets want to include every date and mint mark combination, even the most common ones. Some collectors also enjoy collecting coins from specific years that are meaningful to them, such as birth years or anniversary dates. For young or new collectors, a coin like the 1956D in good condition is a low-cost way to get started in the hobby. Its age, its connection to American history, and its classic wheat design all contribute to its appeal. There are a few other factors that can influence the price, even for a coin in good condition. First, eye appeal still matters. Even a worn coin that has a clean, even tone and no discoloration will usually be more desirable than one with heavy spots or corrosion. Second, while cleaning a coin may seem like a good way to improve its appearance, it often reduces the coin's value. Collectors typically prefer coins in their natural, uncleaned state. Any signs of polishing, scrubbing, or artificial shine can lower the coin's desirability. Another factor is whether the coin has any unique errors. While rare, some 1956D wheat pennies were struck with minor errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. These error coins can be worth significantly more, even if they are in lower grades. For example, a 1956D with a visible repunched mint mark could sell for a few dollars, even in circulated condition. However, these varieties are not common, and must be authenticated and verified by a reputable source before they command any premium. If you're hoping to find a 1956D wheat penny in good condition, your best bet is to search through old change jars, inherited coin collections, or even buy mixed lots of wheat pennies online or at local coin shops. They're not hard to come by, but spotting one in a pile of pennies still feels like a small victory, especially for collectors who appreciate the history behind the coin. In summary, while the 1956D wheat penny is not rare and is widely available, it still holds value above its face amount. In good condition, you can expect it to be worth around 5 to 10 cents in today's market. It's a great coin for beginner collectors or anyone looking to fill out their Lincoln wheat penny collection. The coin serves as a piece of mid-20th century American history, a reminder of a time when 1 cent went a lot further, and a fun entry point into the world of numismatics. Next up, the 1944 wheat penny, especially the one without a mint mark. In this video, we're going to take a close look at the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, specifically in circulated condition, and talk about what makes it interesting, how to identify it, and what it's worth in today's coin market. The 1944 wheat penny was struck during the final years of World War II, a time when the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce large quantities of coinage to keep up with increased economic activity. As a result, over 1.4 billion Lincoln cents were minted that year, making it one of the highest mintage years in the series. The 1944 penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks on coins at the time. This particular version saw a mintage of approximately 1.4 billion coins, making it extremely common in general circulation. Because of the high mintage, most 1944 no-mint mark pennies are not considered rare. However, they are still widely collected due to their age, historical significance, and the sentimental value they hold for many people. They are also a key part of any complete wheat penny collection. In circulated condition, they are frequently found in old coin jars, inherited collections, or even mixed rolls of pennies still being sold today. Let's talk about what circulated condition actually means. In coin collecting, condition or grade plays a major role in determining value. Circulated coins are those that have been used in everyday transactions. As a result, they will show signs of wear, including smoothing of details, loss of luster, scratches, and nicks. A 1944 penny in circulated condition may still have clear details, but you will notice wear on Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat, as well as flattening of the wheat stalks on the reverse. These are normal signs of use over time and are expected for coins that have been in circulation for many decades. Now, when it comes to value, the 1944 no-mint mark penny in circulated condition is not particularly rare, but it does hold value above its face amount due to its age and copper content. Unlike the 1943 pennies, which were made from steel, the 1944 wheat pennies returned to being made from copper. Specifically, they were composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, using recycled ammunition shell casings from the war effort. This gives them a slightly different color and tone compared to earlier copper pennies. In today's market, a typical 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark in average circulated condition is worth between 5 and 10 cents. While that might not sound like much, it's still 5 to 10 times its original face value. For coins with better eye appeal or less wear, though still circulated, the value can reach up to 15 or 20 cents. If the coin is in very fine or extra fine condition, the price might go a bit higher, but generally, the coin remains quite affordable due to its high mintage. However, there is one important exception when it comes to the 1944 no-mint mark penny. A few extremely rare examples were accidentally struck on steel planchets left over from 1943. These are known as 1944 steel cents. If you ever come across a 1944 penny that looks silver or gray instead of the usual copper color, it could be worth thousands of dollars. But these are very rare, with only a few dozen confirmed examples in existence. Most people will never encounter one, but it's always good to be aware just in case you find an unusual-looking coin in your collection. For the average 1944 copper penny with no mint mark, the value is modest but steady. Copper prices and collector interest help support its market value, even for well-worn coins. Collectors often buy these coins in bulk, especially when completing full sets of wheat pennies or creating year-specific collections. The 1944 penny is a necessary coin in those sets, so demand remains consistent even though supply is high. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny in circulated condition, your best option is usually a local coin shop, online marketplaces like eBay, or coin shows. When buying, make sure you are getting a fair price. Remember, the typical value is between 5 and 10 cents. When selling, expect that dealers or buyers may pay a bit less than full retail value, especially for common circulated coins, because they need to leave room for resale margins. In summary, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is one of the most common coins from the wheat penny series. In circulated condition, it generally holds a value of 5 to 10 cents in today's market. It's not rare, but its historical context, its copper composition, and its place in American numismatic history make it a desirable and collectible piece. Whether you're just getting started in coin collecting or you're looking through an old jar of coins, finding a 1944 wheat penny is always a pleasant surprise. Next up, the 1957 D wheat penny. Although it's not a rare coin, especially in circulated condition, it still holds collector interest today. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition and explore how much it's worth in today's market. Let's begin with a bit of history. The 1957 D wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark just below the date on the obverse of the coin. This was one of the final years of the wheat penny design before it was replaced in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial reverse. The Denver Mint produced a large number of pennies in 1957, over 1 billion coins, with the total mintage reaching approximately 1,051,342,000. This massive production means that 1957 to D pennies are very common and can still be found in old collections, change jars, and coin rolls to this day. The composition of the 1957 D penny is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, consistent with most wheat pennies of the era. These coins tend to develop a brown or reddish tone over time, depending on how they've been stored and handled. Now let's talk about condition. When we refer to a coin being in fine condition, we're using a specific grade on the coin grading scale. This scale ranges from poor, P1, all the way up to mint state, MS70. Fine condition is a circulated grade and usually falls in the middle of the scale. A 1957 D penny in fine condition will show moderate wear. On the obverse, Lincoln's hair, cheekbone, and jawline will be worn but still distinct. The lettering and date will be fully visible and readable. On the reverse, the wheat stalks will have noticeable wear, but their outline and some inner lines should still be visible. While it will not have its original luster, the coin should still be intact with no major damage. Because the 1957D wheat penny is so common, its value is modest, especially in lower grades like fine. In today's coin market, a 1957D in fine condition is typically worth between 3 and 5 cents. While that might not seem like much, it is still 3 to 5 times its face value. For collectors or those interested in U.S. coin history, even common coins like this can hold value beyond their monetary worth. The value of a coin like this is determined by a few key factors. The first is its condition. While a fine grade does show wear, coins that are in better condition, such as very fine, extra fine, or uncirculated, will naturally bring higher prices. For example, a 1957D penny in uncirculated condition can sell for around $1 or even more, depending on the color and eye appeal. Another factor is eye appeal. Even among coins of the same grade, those with a more pleasing appearance, meaning fewer spots, good color, and even wear, are more desirable. A coin that has been cleaned or damaged will almost always be worth less than one that has been left in its original state, even if both are in similar condition. It's also important to note that while most 1957D wheat pennies are standard copper cents, there are rare error coins from this year that can be worth significantly more. Examples include doubled dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. These varieties are not common, but if you suspect your coin might have one of these errors, it is worth having it examined by a professional coin dealer or grading service. For most people, however, a 1957D penny in fine condition will be one of the more common coins in a wheat penny collection. It's often found in starter coin sets or sold in bulk lots. Many collectors, especially beginners, will look to acquire coins like this to complete their wheat penny albums without spending a lot of money. Because it was minted late in the wheat series and is easy to find, it serves as a great entry point into coin collecting. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1957D wheat penny in fine condition, there are a few options. Online marketplaces like eBay often have bulk listings, and local coin shops usually carry common wheat pennies at low prices. When buying, keep in mind that prices can vary slightly based on how the coin looks in person. When selling, don't expect a high return on just one coin in this condition, but if you have a large number of them, it could be worth selling as a group. To summarize, the 1957D Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition is a common but still collectible coin. With over 1 billion minted, it is easy to find and doesn't carry a high market value. In today's market, it's generally worth between 3 and 5 cents. Still, it holds value for collectors who want to build a complete wheat penny set or preserve a piece of mid-20th century American coinage. While it may not make you rich, it's a reminder of the history found in everyday objects and the satisfaction that comes with collecting something meaningful. Next up, the 1946 wheat penny, specifically the version without a mint mark, which was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the 1946 no mint mark wheat penny in fine condition and determine what it's worth in today's coin market. Let's begin by setting the historical context. The year 1946 was the first full year after the end of World War II. During the war, coin compositions were adjusted due to metal shortages. In 1943, for instance, the Lincoln cent was made from steel coated with zinc to preserve copper for the war effort. But by 1946, the U.S. Mint had returned to its pre-war copper-based composition for the penny. 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. These coins typically have a reddish-brown or brown appearance due to natural oxidation over time, especially in circulated grades. The 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. That year, Philadelphia produced over 991 million Lincoln cents, making it a high mintage coin. As a result, the 1946 no mint mark penny is not considered rare, especially in circulated condition. However, it remains a key part of the Lincoln Wheat series and is commonly included in sets by collectors. When evaluating the value of any coin, condition is a major factor. The term fine refers to a mid-range circulated grade. On the coin grading scale, it sits above lower grades like good and very good, but below higher grades like very fine and extra fine. A 1946 wheat penny in fine condition will show moderate wear across both sides of the coin. On the obverse, Lincoln's hair and facial details will be worn down but still visible. The jawline and cheek may appear flat or smooth. On the reverse, the wheat ears will be worn with fading of the fine lines, but the outlines will still be distinguishable. All lettering and the date should be fully readable. The coin may have minor nicks or discoloration, but nothing severe enough to damage its overall structure. Because of its high mintage and widespread circulation, the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition is fairly easy to find. Its value in today's coin market reflects that. As of now, a 1946 wheat penny in fine condition is typically worth between 3 and 5 cents. While this is only a small amount above its face value, it's still notable for a coin that has been circulating for nearly 80 years. What makes a coin like this valuable to collectors is not rarity, but history and completeness. Many collectors strive to build a full set of Lincoln wheat pennies, which includes every year and every mint mark from 1909 through 1958. Even common dates like the 1946 no mint mark are essential to completing the collection. Additionally, for those new to coin collecting, lower-cost coins like the 1946 wheat penny provide an affordable entry point into the hobby. Aside from condition and demand, other factors can influence a coin's value. One of these is eye appeal. Even coins with the same grade can vary in appearance. A 1946 penny with even color and minimal spotting will typically sell for a little more than one that's heavily stained or corroded. Another factor is whether the coin has been cleaned. Cleaning a coin may seem like a way to make it look better, but it often decreases its value. Collectors generally prefer coins in their original, unaltered state. There are also error coins to consider. While most 1946 wheat pennies are standard copper cents, there are rare errors like doubled dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. However, these are extremely uncommon and typically command much higher prices when authenticated by a reputable grading service. It's important to have any suspected error coin reviewed by a professional before assuming it holds premium value. If you're looking to sell a 1946 no mint mark wheat penny in fine condition, there are a few options. Local coin shops often buy bulk wheat pennies, although they may offer below retail value. Online marketplaces like eBay or Etsy may allow you to get a slightly better price, especially if selling in groups. If you're a buyer, these same outlets are good places to find individual wheat pennies or mixed rolls at low cost. While a single 1946 penny in fine condition won't make anyone rich, collecting these coins can be a meaningful and educational hobby. For older generations, they offer a sense of nostalgia. For younger collectors, they serve as a window into American history and the evolution of U.S. coinage. Coins like the 1946 wheat penny are tangible connections to the past, and even the most common issues play a role in the larger story of U.S. numismatics. To sum it up, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition is a common yet historically significant coin. With a value ranging from 3 to 5 cents in today's market, it offers a small but steady return over its original face value. Whether you're building a complete set, searching through old change, or just getting started in coin collecting, the 1946 wheat penny is an accessible and affordable piece of American history. Next up, the 1948 wheat penny without a mint mark. While this coin is not considered rare in general, certain conditions and characteristics can influence its appeal and market value. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the 1948 no-mint mark wheat penny, specifically when it appears dirty or dark, even black in color, and explain what that means for its value in today's market. Let's start with a little background. The 1948 Lincoln wheat penny was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on its coins during that period. Over 317 million of these pennies were produced in Philadelphia alone that year, making it a fairly common coin. Because of this high mintage, the 1948 wheat penny is generally easy to find in circulated condition, especially among bulk coin lots or inherited collections. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which was the standard alloy used for most Lincoln cents from 1909 through 1962. Over time, copper coins naturally oxidize. Exposure to moisture, air, skin oils, or improper storage can cause color changes. This oxidation process often results in the coin turning brown, dark brown, or even black. In some cases, coins may also appear dirty, stained or corroded, especially if they've been stored in humid environments, buried in soil, or left in places where they've been exposed to chemicals or water. It's important to understand that color alone does not necessarily mean a coin is valuable or rare. A 1948 wheat penny with a black or dirty appearance is usually a result of environmental damage or age-related oxidation, rather than an error or unique variety. While some color variations, like deep red or red-brown tones in mint-state coins, can increase a penny's value, dark or black tones typically reduce eye appeal and, therefore, market value, especially if the coin shows signs of corrosion, pitting, or surface damage. When evaluating a coin like this, condition is key. A 1948 wheat penny with a black or dirty color is almost always considered to be in circulated condition, and depending on the level of wear, it might fall into grades such as good, very good, or fine. A coin in these lower to mid-range grades will show noticeable wear on Lincoln's hair, face, and jawline, while the wheat stalks on the reverse will be flat or missing most of their fine detail. If the lettering and date are still readable and there is no significant damage like holes, bends, or severe corrosion, the coin is still collectible, even if it looks dark or stained. So what is the 1948 no-mint mark wheat penny worth in this type of condition? In today's market, a circulated 1948 wheat penny that appears dirty or has a black color shade is typically worth between 2 and 5 cents. That's about 2 to 5 times its face value. While the dark color does lower its appeal to some collectors, the coin still holds value as a historical item and can be a useful addition to a circulated set of Lincoln cents. Some sellers might offer similar coins in bulk at discounted rates, and buyers may be interested in these coins for educational purposes, crafting, or simply to fill a hole in a coin album until a better example can be found. In many cases, collectors look for cleaner or higher-grade examples, but heavily worn or darkened coins still serve their purpose, especially for beginners. It's worth noting that cleaning a coin to improve its appearance is strongly discouraged. Many people assume that cleaning a dirty or dark coin will increase its value, but this is rarely the case. Cleaning can scratch the surface, remove original details, and make the coin less desirable to experienced collectors. Even though a blackened coin may not look perfect, it's almost always better to leave it in its original condition. Coin dealers and grading services often refer to improperly cleaned coins as damaged, which can hurt. Resale value. If you believe your 1948 penny looks different for another reason, such as unusual weight, missing details, or odd composition, it could be worth further inspection. Though rare, error coins from this era do exist, including off-center strikes, die cracks, and doubled dies. These types of errors can significantly increase a coin's value, but they need to be verified by a professional or a third-party grading service. However, a dark or dirty coin by itself is not considered an error. In summary, The 1948 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark is a common coin that was produced in large numbers at the Philadelphia Mint. In circulated condition with a dirty or black color shade, it typically holds a value between 2 and 5 cents in today's market. While this is not a high-value coin, it still has historical significance and remains a popular item for beginning collectors, educators, and hobbyists. If you come across one of these coins, it's a good idea to store it in a dry, stable environment to prevent further oxidation. While it may not be rare, it still tells part of the story of mid-20th century America and the long history of the Lincoln. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you, and next time, happy collecting.